What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today I want to talk a little Destiny, specifically about vault space and the fact that we're not getting any more. So in the latest Game Informer article, I believe it came out on Thursday, we learned that in fact we are not going to be getting any more vault space. Now this was a little bit of a surprise, actually a big surprise for me, because previously Bungie had tweeted that in Rise of Iron, vault space wouldn't be an issue. That led me and others to believe that vault space wouldn't be an issue, that either they were going to raise how much inventory was available in your vault, how big the vault would be, or they were going to change up the system for storing your inventory, storing the weapons and armors and artifacts that you've collected with your time in Destiny. Now, we talked about this a little bit in the Planet Destiny podcast, and anybody who watched it saw that I got a little excited about this. I got pretty lit about this because vault space is kind of an issue for me. I am a collector. I am a hoarder of Destiny gear. I really like having that collection, that trophy case of all the cool and awesome stuff. Now, admittedly, not everything in my vault is extremely useful. For instance, I have a complete set of Vault of Glass gear that has basically no in-game value. The only value it has to me is sentimental. It took me a long time to complete a full set of Vault of Glass gear. In fact, I just got a Praetorian foil, as many of you know, about a month ago. That represents almost 2 years of running the Vault of Glass to get that gear. Guns like the Fatebringer, Praetorian foil, Praetus Revenge, you know, these guns are important to me on a purely sentimental value. Just because it took so long to get them, the Vault of Glass was the first raid, and I just want to hold on to those. They're a trophy case to my past accomplishments inside the Vault of Glass, and I just don't want to get rid of them. The same goes for the Crota raid. I just don't want to get rid of that stuff. Prison of Elders, I already had to get rid of that stuff. I ran out of inventory space. I had to get rid of my Prison of Elders stuff, which luckily wasn't that big a deal because a lot of that same stuff is still available through the Challenge of Elders, so it doesn't really make as big a difference to me. But there is no replacement for the Vault of Glass, the Crota's End gear. That stuff, if I delete, I'll just have to re-earn by grinding it again. And as I have a complete set now, I don't really want to do that. The other problem is that we are looking at a situation where all of our Year 2 stuff is going to be infusible to Year 3 light levels, and therefore usable. So those perfect rolls on hawk saws or PDXs or sniper rifles or shotguns, I want to keep all that stuff because it's still very usable in Year 3. When I go into the Trials of Osiris, the Iron Banner, the new Wrath of Iron Raid, or Wrath of the Machine Raid, or the new Strikes, I'm going to want that Year 2 stuff that proved out to be so valuable. That took me a full year to get perfect rolls on. I'm going to want to keep that stuff. Absolutely. Then there's the strike specific gear, the stuff that I got from running strikes that, you know, is unique to those strikes. And that stuff is really cool as well. Some of it less useful than, you know, a perfectly rolled PDX. Some of it pretty useful in its own right. Some of it's just purely cosmetic. And I'm going to have to look at deleting some of that stuff too, even though it's very rare and it's very hard to get. So this is why I'm upset that Bungie right now is saying that there is not going to be an increase in vault space. Now, we don't know this for sure, right? This may have been a miscommunication between Bungie and Game Informer. It could have been just a little bit weird how Game Informer worded that part of the article, and that might have thrown us as gamers, but I think they would have corrected it by now because there's been quite an outcry about it. Or it could be that Bungie is actually reworking the way inventory is managed in Destiny, and this would actually be very welcome to me. On the Planet Destiny podcast, I complained that, you know, if they're going to be getting rid of the 360 and the PS3, then they have to show us why, right? If they're going to alienate 10% of their population, if they're going to make people buy new consoles and another copy of Destiny to keep playing, they need to prove why that is a good value for us. And if they don't give us an increase in vault space, that does not go anywhere toward proving why they had to do this, why this was a good value for gamers. However, if they end up just reworking the way the vault works, reworking the way your inventory works, perhaps tying it to your ship, or perhaps getting rid of the vault entirely and having all of your inventory accessible to you in-game no matter what you're doing. Similar to the way an external item manager would work, like a Destiny item manager kind of system, but in-game. That would actually get me pretty excited. So this could be Bungie misdirecting us, not wanting to give away, yeah, we're reworking the way that inventories work completely. So, you know, no, there is no update to the vault because it's going away. You know, that's one thing. If it's going to remain the same vault in the same size, then I think that represents a problem for Destiny, for Bungie, and for Destiny players, frankly, because they are not showing us the value of getting rid of the 360 and the PS3 here. You know, I can understand not being able to update the vault based on the fact that, you know, 360s and PS3s just couldn't handle it. That's fine. That makes sense. But now we've gotten rid of the 360, we've gotten rid of the PS3, so show us the value, why you've made this decision, and give us the ability as players to hold on to these trophies that took us so long to collect in the first place. I don't want to get rid of my Found Verdict. I don't want to get rid of my Praetus Revenge. I don't want to get rid of my full Vault of Glass armor sets for my Titan, Warlock, and Hunter, because I think they're some of the best looking armor sets in the game, and frankly, some of the hardest to attain in the game, especially when the Vault of Glass was new and everybody was grinding for level 30. It was a real grind back then, and I would hate to delete those because they really represent a significant achievement in this game to me. And having access to those, even though there's no real in-game value to it, it's still fun to put them on, go into the Vault of Glass, and compete in the Vault of Glass with that armor set and with those weapons on. So, you know, that's kind of why I'm concerned about this. And I'm not 100% like upset about it yet because I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. I could definitely see Bungie just misdirecting Game Informer when they asked the question on vault space, just because they want to make that announcement themselves on a live stream or something like that. Hey, no, there's not going to be an increased vault because the vault is going away. Your ship's going to be your new inventory, or your inventory is going to be accessible to you in full in-game. That would be an awesome change to Destiny. It'd be one that's really welcome because you would no longer have to use external websites to manage your inventory while you're playing. And, you know, just make the game a better game. But until I hear that, I'm very skeptical about what's going on here because I definitely don't want to start deleting my favorite gear, and I definitely want to be able to collect all the new and awesome gear that's coming with Rise of Iron. We've got an amazing new quantity of new weapons and armor that are coming with Rise of Iron that I want to start collecting. New exotics, new legendaries, multiple new sets of armor and weapons from Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, the Archon Forge mode, from Wrath of the Machine, from all different places. I definitely want to collect and hold on to those things because this is a shooter-looter, right? Half of it is shooting, half of it is looting, and to not be able to hold on to the rewards from the loot, it does get upsetting a little bit. So I really kind of want to know what you guys have to think about this. I know there's going to be a lot of comments in the comment section that say, well, I've only got like a half a page full in my inventory, so I don't really have a problem with this. Maybe you should just start cleaning out your inventory. But I know there's also a lot of people like me that when they get a piece of strike-specific loot, they hold on to it because it's a trophy. When they get a really cool emblem, they hold on to it. When they get a really cool weapon or piece of armor, they hold on to it. Even if it's not the best roll, they hold on to it until a better roll comes along because it is rare, because it is cool. And that's how I roll, man, is like I'd have these trophies that I just want to hold on to because they represent a memory or a piece of an adventure that I had in Destiny, and I don't want to see those go away because I'm low on vault space. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really interested in hearing your opinions on this issue. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you guys next time.